Hello and welcome to Grammar Level 1, Exercise 5. Let's start off like we do on every exercise here. I'll show you the three sentences we'll be working with today as well as the heading on the paper. So go ahead and pause the video right now, get this down on your paper. Once you're done getting down the heading and all three sentences, also too, go ahead and try to fill in the parts of speech of every word that you know for certain. Once you think you have that done, go ahead and hit play and I'll be back with the answers and the explanations. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move this so that we have our first sentence at the top of the page. His students listen carefully so they will learn quickly. First thing I'm going to do is look for any free answers, any of the articles, a, an, or the. I don't have that in the sentence, so then I move on to easy action verbs and easy nouns. Students, that's an easy noun. Listen, that's an easy action verb. Carefully. I see an ly there. So they will learn. That's an easy action verb. And I got another ly there. So I'm going to use these lys first, see if they modify the verbs. This one does. That's going to be an adverb. What about this one? Ends in ly. It does modify listen, so that's also an adverb. Two pieces of evidence for each showing that those are adverbs. Now I look over his students. This is describing which students. A word that describes a noun or pronoun is an adjective. All right, so they will learn quickly. They looks like a pronoun, third person plural. They, yes, this is a pronoun. All right, will learn quickly. Will, that's a little strange. I'm going to leave that. They will learn quickly looks like a whole big idea, and his students listen carefully looks like a whole big idea. This word so is combining those two ideas, and it is one of the seven, I believe, and, but, or, nor, for, so, yet. This is a conjunction. Now I'm stuck here with will learn. This is a trick. You shouldn't have gotten this one correctly. If you have, then you can move right along because you're ready to go. Will learn. All that this word is doing is helping establish the tense of this verb. It's putting it in this case, it's putting it in the future tense. Will learn. I can't take out learn and have this word stand on its own. Will. It's dependent on learn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to underline both of these words, and then I'm going to leave the V underneath the main verb. What this means in grammar is that you're acknowledging that you know that will is a helping verb and that it is helping learn. So this is really the only time that we'll leave a blank spot in the part of speech underneath a word in level 1. All right, I'm going to keep that at the top of the page so you can catch up if you don't have it yet, and I'm going to go on to the next sentence. A, an, or the, looking for free answers. I have none this time as well. So now I'm looking for easy nouns and easy action verbs. He was thirsty, so he drank. There's an action verb. 3 glasses, that looks like a noun, concrete and plural. Water, that looks like a noun as well. All right, so 3. 3 looks like it's telling me how many glasses, describing a noun. That's going to be an adjective. All right, verb, nothing talking about the drinking here. He is the one who did the drinking. This is going to be a pronoun. Okay, so let's leave that yet, although I probably is going to be a conjunction. Thirsty. Thirsty usually describes something. Someone is usually thirsty. In this case, he is thirsty. He is indeed a pronoun. So thirsty is describing it would be an adjective. Okay, so moving right along. He was thirsty. He was thirsty. Huh. So he was thirsty is a whole idea. He drank 3 glasses of water is a whole idea. This is combining both of those. This is going to be a conjunction. Is it one of the 7? It certainly is. And, but, or, for, so, yet. Glasses of water. Of is, this is showing the relationship of glasses of what? Glasses of water. It's linking those two, showing the relationship of those two. So we have a preposition here. That was a tricky one. Now, over here, this is the trick of this sentence. Was is actually a verb, but it's not an action verb. It's what we call a linking verb. If you go back in your notes, you'll see a linking verb. You can identify it. There's a little trick because usually you could replace it with an equal sign without changing the meaning of the idea. So in this case, he equals thirsty. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's what we're talking about here. So that's a linking verb. Now you're just going to put V underneath for parts of speech for level 1 here because it doesn't really matter if it's linking or action. It will really matter in level 2. So if you can get in your head what is a linking verb versus what is an action verb now, you're going to save a lot of time later. Let's move on to the third and final. I'll put the second at the top. Okay, Tom looked proud as he looked over his test. Tom is going to be a noun. That's easy. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have any a, ands, or thes? No, we don't. Okay. So Tom looked proud. Look looks like a verb. Looked proud as he looked at. Looked looks like a verb here over his test. And that's a test is a noun. That's a thing. His test is telling me which one. That's going to be an adjective describing a noun. Looked over his test. This is showing the relationship between the looking. I could look around, I could look behind, I could look into his test. This is a preposition. All right, he is the pronoun that's doing the looking. He looked over his test, it's taking the place of Tom in this case. As he looked over the test, he looked proud. That sounds like an adjective describing this noun here, and it is. It's going to be an adjective. All right, now before I go on to this word right here, I want to talk to you about these two looks. If you look at them closely, no pun intended, you'll see that this looked is an actual verb. We could watch him doing this. He looked over his test. You could look next to you on your neighbor and you could watch them do this. On this case, however, we could replace this looked with an equal sign. So this looked is actually a linking verb, and this looked is an action verb. Again, we just put V for both, but put this in your brain right now that there is a difference between linking and action. And again, in level 2, it'll make more sense. Now I have this word right here, and it is joining this whole big idea with this whole big idea. So what does that? Conjunctions do that. Is it one of the 7, and, but, or, nor, for, so, yet? No, it is not. So this is going to be a subordinating conjunction, which doesn't matter until level 2. But as long as we can identify a conjunction, we're fine. We're going to end this lesson. I'll put this at the top of the page. We're going to end this lesson with some tricks, specifically tricks about verbs. So we have action, linking, and helping verbs. All of these we're just going to label as V for parts of speech. All right. As a matter of fact, this one we don't label anything. Okay. So I'll just take that off. Okay, so here are your main rules. The very first thing you want to do when looking for a verb is look for those easy action verbs. Every sentence has to have a verb, so there's going to be one there somewhere. It doesn't have to be action, but there does need to be a verb. So the action verbs are like jump, hit, sit, all that stuff. Things that you can observe. Number 2, if you can't find an action verb, then look for a linking verb. And you can usually replace a linking verb with an equal sign without altering the meaning. Finally here, number 3, helping verbs establish verb tense and cannot survive on their own. So we don't even really recognize them as their own part of speech. All we do is we underline the helping verb and the main verb, and we put V underneath what we're identifying as the main verb. And that's it for exercise 5. I'll see you at exercise 6.